All right, what is up? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer with Brandman, Brian the Grizzly, and we're going to talk about Dune Prophecy, Episode 1, the beginning of this brand new, I believe it's a limited series over on HBO Max, set 10,000 years. Actually, was it like 10,176
194,
years?
something like that.
Something like that. Years before the Dune movie, before Timothy Chalamet. And
So before
I also
Paul
like,
Trees was born.
before he was even born. And it was it like 116 years after
After
the machine war, so gives you a nice little summary of that, the whole war, on why there's no AI, why this whole thing in the future, why spice is important. I don't know if we ever got into that in the original Dunes. But there's no AI, there's no anything like that, and we got why there's no artificial intelligence, why computers are just equipment and not self-thinking. So but yeah, Brandman, did you watch this one?
I watched it.
Yeah,
I was just trying to like rewatch parts of it because admittedly it kind of had trouble hooking and holding my interest. And not even I was like, oh, maybe I'm just kind of out of it today, so I'm gonna give it another shot. And I don't think I'm the problem.
I don't think you're the problem. I don't think you're the problem. Yeah.
To its merit, it's nice to look at. I like the actors they cast. But it just didn't have it didn't have what I was looking for. And I guess my standards were pretty high considering the movies that I really, really like. So I was expecting something of at least like a similar quality. But I don't know, it's just not really doing it for me. I understand that they're trying to kind of set up more of this world. But even then it's not doing anything for me, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm just not in it. I'm just not into it after the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only one. I mean, we'll get into what other people kind of think about it as well. But what about you, Ryan? What you think about this first episode?
So it took me 3 times to watch it. I literally was watching it, and then all of a sudden I woke up. I was like, what the hell just happened? Because it was boring as F. The beginning, the story, it was just so boring. And I really like Dune. I so much like Dune. I read the books. I have the books down here, guys. Like I really enjoy it. That was really boring. And I didn't expect that for, you said, limited series with only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Only 6 episodes. You had a whole episode of me falling asleep?
Yeah.
What? Now, with that being said, some very cool things happen after they got through the first like 25, 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was a hard watch for a long time, and I'm shocked. But then if you ask me to like rate it, I would rate it higher than what I'm saying right now. But the fact that it just couldn't hold my interest at the beginning is a problem. I just don't understand how you have 6 episodes and you don't have anything going on. The first one.
Yeah. So I'm right there with both of you guys. I thought the beginning of it got me. I'm like, okay, you got me the lore, you got me the war. You're throwing in names I know. Why everyone loves an Atreides, why everyone hates Harkonnens. Right off the bat. And then
like 3 minutes,
it started like the first few minutes. I'm like, cool, let's go. And then it slowly started to just like go down to a point where I was bored, and I'm, and in my head, like Erica, my girlfriend, because she really wanted to see this too. she's like, I'm gonna go wash some baby bottles. And I even noticed on myself, I was on my phone, kind of scrolling a little bit. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, when something happens, but by the end, stuff does happen, where I'm like interested to see where it goes.
Mhm.
I just feel like Brian, like you said, there's 6 episodes, and you gave us one episode that is. I get the first episode is going to introduce a lot of stuff. It was maybe didn't happen quick enough,
Yeah.
or maybe you're throwing too much stuff at once. I don't know what made it just boring, but most of this episode was pretty boring, you
Mhm.
know. And it sucked, but Anzo's
Yeah.
there. Dude sucks. It's trash.
Mhm.
Dude is awesome. It's super nerdy, and I love that they are building this lore and stuff. And I see where the show is going, but this first episode was
Yeah.
hard to get through. But by the end, by the end, it rehooked me. I'm just worried that a lot of people might have dropped off before it got to that
I don't know
point.
if it hooked me. I'm re-interested a little bit, but you got about 20 minutes of this next episode to really get me going. Or I'm gonna be like, ugh.
Mhm.
I'll watch it. I ain't gonna be happy about it. Like I thought that they could have done a better job with the casting of like or interesting people. Like people that something about them could be interesting, or introduce not in casting. I'm sorry, introduce characters that are more interesting within the first episode.
Mhm.
I think that they did not really explain who any of them were besides, you know, Valea. That's really all I really cared about, man. Everyone else, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get it. I understand. I know the Emperor Jaffico. I understand, but there's a lot of stuff I just didn't care, or they didn't do anything yet. So if you're going to introduce a
Didn't do anything.
character and they're going to be interesting later, you gotta give me something, some type of something at the beginning,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
you lose me.
Yeah.
And this is HBO, right? This is HBO Max, and they're going against the stuff that they just. The Penguin was off the chain, right?
Oh,
And then
Mhm.
man. Yeah,
House
I
of the
rewatched
Dragons,
it.
great. Like
Mhm.
these are the series that you're going off of, limited series that you're going from. Penguin's a limited series too. You can't be boring after that stuff that they just showed.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, guys, I'll be right back. Give me a sec.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. It just bring them down. Like you said, the characters were kind of like Valea, which is kind of is going to be the main character, I believe, of the show.
yeah.
Interesting. She had the voice,
Mhm.
and she's like the first person ever to have the voice. That's what got me. I'm like, okay, like cool. And then that's it.
Yep.
Nothing, and then we get Hart, who's from Arrakis, and I guess he's dealing with it, and he's like, his whole group got wiped out.
Everyone's got wiped
You know,
out. Yeah.
so but he comes in, and I'm like, okay, he's interesting, and they give him more questions at the end of the episode. But like you said, everyone else, Mark Strong didn't really do it for me. Was it what's her name? Jodie May, Jodie May or whatever. She was I remember for her from The Witcher.
Yeah, Jody.
Yeah, she was from The Witcher, and she was interesting, but like you have all the princess, I was kind of like, maybe later you'll be interesting, but right now I don't care. You have an Atreides there, and they didn't really do much. I don't know. I just felt like they had these people, and nothing felt entertaining. you know, you know, but it does show glimpses of where it can go.
I mean, the
I
Bene
just hope it
Gesserits
doesn't
are,
tank.
are all cool in themselves. I mean, the whole group is a very interesting group to see, and then seeing them almost fall 10,000 years before they are almost running the entire galaxy
Mhm.
in the
Yeah.
same way, like they were literally in that point position now, and they one person almost caused the whole thing to crumble.
Mhm.
The concept is better than the way they did the execution, and I think
Yeah.
that's my biggest problem.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. I think like you said, the concept, the idea of what they're going after is interesting. This first episode, man, it should have done more to get you more excited about the sisterhood. Because right now you're like, oh, they're lying. They're like lying and doing their stuff to get in charge. But with a prequel show or any kind of prequel, you know where it's going to end up at. Like because we seen the original, we seen Dune 1 and 2, so we know where it's going. Granted, it's 10,000 years later.
That's like we know it's gonna go, but it's 10,000 between. So I mean,
Yeah,
plot
so
is go up and down.
there's things you got to do as a prequel show or movie, whatever, a prequel story that hooks people. And that's one of my biggest issue with prequels. I'm never a big fan of prequels just because you're trying to add lore to something that's already out there. And sometimes, a lot of times, it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do because now you're stuck in this box that you have to play in. You know what I mean? Like, can't go too far crazy because at some point you got to bring it back in, and that's not fun. That's boring. When you go crazy, when you go wild and you got to rein it back in so it can lead into where it needs to go, that's never fun. That's always super boring for me.
I agree.
But like one thing I do see this show going is, I don't know if you guys think it, but it's going to lead to the prophecy. Obviously, Dune Prophecy. I think it's the Quasar Cataract or Quasar Set or whatever they call it.
Oh, that's the only way.
Yeah, so I think by the end of this show, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be them tinkering with the bloodlines to get one of their own on the throne. Is just not going to be a sister. I think they realize like it's going to be a dude. So
It has to be
therefore,
a male, and then we're going to have a male that's be able to have that same push, the same voice to be able to do it, and that idea that eventually he's going to take over is good for them because it keeps everyone interested, keeps the other men who don't want to listen to women interested.
Mm-hmm.
And then while they're interested in waiting for waiting for this prophecy to come true, they continue to run everything. They gave him a carrot. They held a carrot in front of them, and that's what the whole prophecy is going to be: giving them a carrot and allow them to run it for 10,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sister. I think but I think she's going to do that for the sisterhood because I think none of the great houses know about the prophecy as much as like the sister's they're gonna set it up in place and blah blah blah, and they're gonna do stuff and Valea, she's gonna, I think, create this prophecy so it allows the sisters to manipulate the men for the bloodline. So then you can start tinkering with the blood. They already brought it up, the bloodlines in this episode and blah 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 and stuff. So I guess why you see where it's going. It just this first episode was like started off really cool, and then it dropped really hard. Luckily, it kind of started coming back up a little bit towards the end because I'm kind of curious on how this dude is able to burn the kid. Like
he burned
and the other sister.
Yeah,
I can't think of her name.
It's not Inez, is it Inez?
Maybe the one that was.
I don't know.
She was the princess's like sister, or like no, or not the princess sister, but she was there to monitor the princess. But she was the emperor's.
Yeah, but she's always saw as the princess, saw her as her.
Yeah,
as
she
her
bonded with
mother, really. Yeah.
I can't think of her name, but it was like how, because right now Hart is the most interesting character because I'm kind of curious to see what he has, what ability he has. Because it seems like he has some kind of ability, and maybe it's the spice.
Maybe
he was on Arrakis.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, be kind of curious. But I don't know anything in the episode that you were like, that was really interesting, or that was really dumb. You guys got anything?
Oh, it just wasn't entertaining enough. And I know they set up a lot of these things, and I was like, Inez is the princess, right? So I wonder if she gets pregnant, if she's pregnant, and they have to hide the pregnancy somehow and figure out a way for that to happen. That's
Which would make
screw with
sense
the
on why
bloodlines.
Paul, way down the line, becomes who he becomes. Because
yeah, it was kind of hard for me to get a read on this episode. So guess I just gotta wait it out a week. See, hopefully the second episode does a little more for me.
Yeah,
I hope it doesn't for the world, because everyone's like,
yeah. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes. So Rotten Tomatoes right now, 75% with the audience or with the critics, and 63 with the audience.
It's not good.
Which is not, it's definitely not good.
Because your first episode, that
should be high.
Should be a lot higher.
Yeah, because most of the time, besides like something like Penguin and Agatha, those are kind of like one of the few shows that it happens. But usually you start off high and you kind of get down, and then you have a little bump up in the finale. But if you're starting at 63%, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, so if you go down at all, you're gonna be like, oh my god.
Yeah, like in comparison, Silo season 2, which we review on Saturdays, do a whole episode of just Silo. Season 2 started off with a 91%. That's kind of where you want to start a season off at, and then see kind of where it goes, because it's gonna take a dip. Unless you're one of these very few shows that don't take a dip, but that's a rare occasion.
That's funny because I thought that was the worst episode I saw so far, and it was still better than everything that Dune's done.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was the Benny Gesserit. I couldn't think of their name. Why am I having such a brain fart with them?
I think I said that earlier.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. But you got anything else, Bram Man?
No.
Yeah. So first episode, we'll see where it goes. We're gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep watching because I am a fan of Dune.
Same.
I think this is based off like a book. I haven't read the book yet. I've only read the first 3 books. So
I think it's the School of something.
I think the Sisterhood School or School
of Sisterhood.
Something along those lines. There's so many freaking books in the Dune.
Yeah, there's
a great school of Doom. Great schools of Doom.
Yeah, there you go. So, but yeah, that's our thoughts on that first episode. But we want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this first episode of Dune Prophecy. Did it hook you? Maybe you thought it was super interesting and you were like really like intrigued in all the lore of it all. Let us know. Leave a comment. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on the replay. We appreciate all you guys coming in and checking us out. And if you are live with us, stick around because we're gonna move on to our next topic for the night.